St. Louis on the right side of your screen. These are the storms that are just off to the south and west of St. Louis. Extremely large hail being supported in the updrafts of these thunderstorms. They're falling out at baseball size. That report coming to us from a storm chaser in the area who had their front windshield broken and blown out by the hail. That is the end of that chase day, that's for sure. You got to be careful. These storms are absolutely packing a punch as they roll along the I-44 corridor. There will be lots of reports of hail like this. This is in Morgan County, Missouri. And look at this from Ryan Sloan. Giant hail filling his palm there. So yes, we are getting verified reports of baseball-sized hail in those storms south of St. Louis. This is just one of the many threats that we are tracking with storms today. A history of damage with these storms. And you know what? We're going to have storms popping up back towards the west as well as we continue to follow nasty weather now in Oklahoma and in Kansas. Here's another example of the big storm out of Milford Township in Ohio. Damage here because of winds that came through. Winds damaged trees, flipped trucks, kind of tore off siding and did some roof damage as well. We've been following these storms since this time yesterday. Day 2 of the outbreak continues now. More severe weather on the way. Let's continue to get the updates on these storms by going out to the lab. Viv there with our Jen Carfagno following the nasty weather. Guys, a lot to follow right now.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. We're following mainly, well, first of all, anyway, that line of storms that moved through out of Ohio into West Virginia.
And I think that hail picture that Mark had actually might have been out of Kentucky, where baseball-sized hail has been reported on the tail end of that squall line that we've been tracking. Actually started in Iowa last night as a little thunderstorm, and it moved more than 600 miles. Now it's tracking through West Virginia. Let's look at the radar so I can show you what's going on here. We've got still a warning on that cell. Again, a history of baseball-sized hail, so be forewarned about that. This particular one, as we still track it on radar, severe thunderstorm warning for Inez and Warfield, these cities, until 4 o'clock local time.
And that area under a severe thunderstorm watch still until 6 o'clock local time.
And here's some of the reports. Teacup-sized hail, 3-inch hail, and baseball-sized hail as well. All right, let's go over to St. Louis, where this cell, and Mark showed this, this is very concerning for a number of reasons. So we've got the severe thunderstorm warnings in effect, and for Crawford, Franklin, Washington County until 3:15. We're tracking this one and the one behind it. History of hail already in this area, and big hail, more than 2 inches in size in history. But you look at this particular cell right here, it almost looks like there's a little bit of a notch, Viv, and I want to
a little bit of hook?
Yeah, well, we'll look at that. First I want to show the hail history. I mean, look at all these reports already, and we're still tracking storms, the same storm through this area. Watching it move just to the south and east of St. Louis. It looks like it's turning a little bit to the right, so we're tracking it a little more south than we were before. But right there, we've been just south of Miramacqua, if I hope I pronounced that correctly. And here we're watching a little bit of rotation. And so this is indicated on the Doppler radar. There is no tornado warning, but I want to give a heads up to this area that, again, it's right in that little notch right here that we are watching. Then we have this other warning for the cell behind it, and that we're watching that until 3:15. Again, a lot of hail across this area. In Illinois, and we also have some storms with hail heading towards Vincennes. This goes until 3 o'clock. And then, Viv, we've got all of this activity that we are tracking.
And this is near the dry line, so we could be talking about some big-time hailstones as well in this area.
Yes, and we're seeing that right here. This one has the potential for some big hail, and 70-mile-per-hour winds already reported out of this. So watching this cell as it tracks up here towards the northeast, it is racing. The storm itself is moving at about 60 miles per hour.
That is right. Okay, this area also suspect for a tornado watch later on. So we're watching this area as well for possible tornadoes.
I'll outline that in here. This is where the National Weather Service, the Storm Prediction Center, is expecting to issue a tornado watch here soon. There's about a 95% chance of it. And with the storms already popping, expecting that to happen
So
soon.
Heads up for you around the Joplin, Missouri area, eastern Oklahoma, and extreme southeastern Kansas for a good chance of tornadoes even.
All right, Mark, we'll send it back to you.
Thanks, ladies. And of course, we want to go out to the field. We want to bring in our own Dave Malkoff live in Wichita. Dave, are you able to see the top of that anvil for the storm that's producing hail a few counties away from you, south and east from where you are?
No. No, we're pretty far west of there and a little bit north, so we're still watching for that area to come towards us, but we're on the very edge of this of this severe section of the country. But as you can see right now, as I speak, the sun is coming out and beaming down on us. It's been about 20 years since a devastating tornado event has happened here in the city of Wichita, but they are definitely prepared. Let's bring in Deputy Chief Brad Crisp. He is the fire marshal for the city. Now, what have you actually done? You've had a series of meetings.
Yeah, we get together with our emergency services partners in advance of these kinds of events. Starting yesterday, we started meeting with our friends in law enforcement, EMS, Public Works, Emergency Communications.
Even the electric company, right?
Yeah, the electric company, the school board, and others, so that we all know what each other's doing and we all know what to expect if something bad were to happen.
So your main goal is to get everyone in place in case something happens. You've been very lucky here for the last 20 years, right?
Yeah, but we have a lot of experience with these kinds of things. Tornadoes aren't foreign to us. We haven't had a big one for a while, but we want everybody to know what to expect from not only the fire department and the police department, but from the other people in our system, so that we can respond appropriately in the event something bad happens.
People who live in Kansas definitely know that they are right in the path of this. So, yeah. So everybody kind of is on high alert today. I mean, do people that you've been talking to, people in the department, people in that meeting, what do they think about today versus any other event that they've gone through?
You know, we have a lot of different kinds of weather in Kansas, and tornadoes can obviously be very devastating, but everybody's really prepared for those kinds of things. We start talking about it early, and people who live in this community know what to expect when severe weather comes around, and they're good people, and they know what to do, and they know what to expect.
As you saw, severe thunderstorm warning down in the Sedan area. You were saying that was happening yesterday as well, too.
Yeah, they had some severe weather back to the east, about an hour east of Wichita last night, so they got quite a bit of weather last night. We're waiting to see how this weather system shifts east or west to see how it's going to impact Wichita.
And would you guys respond to something as far as even Joplin or the Pittsburgh area? Would you go that far?
Sure. If called for, we would send assistance. We don't send our entire units out. Obviously, we have to keep people at home to take care of emergencies that occur here, because, you know, if we have a severe weather event, the other emergencies don't stop, the medical calls and the car wrecks, but we're prepared to send resources to places to help our neighbors out as well if we need to.
Perfect. Deputy Chief Brad Crisp, thank you so much.
Right. Thank you.
He'll get to another meeting coming up a little later on in the evening. As the evening progresses, we may have an elevated risk here. For right now, we've got the sun shining, and I probably have to take off the rain jacket because we don't have any rain coming down on us right now.
Yeah, Dave, that's true, although that sun helps to destabilize the atmosphere, setting the stage for your big storms later. Thanks so much. Viv, over to you.
Yes, self-destructive sunshine. Now, speaking of the threat of severe weather, not only are we talking about large hailstones, high winds, and possible tornadoes, but heavy downpours, too, on top of already very saturated grounds. Look at the saturated grounds that we've had the past 7 days, 5 to 8 inches in this area here. You see the orange, but then the area of yellow, 3 to 5 inches have fallen, so the ground is very saturated in this area. So with more storms and heavy rain falling on these saturated grounds, flooding will be a huge concern across this region, and we'll keep you posted here. Mark, back to you.
And Viv, we are following the latest in regards to severe thunderstorm warnings. Check out this cell, 80-mile-per-hour winds headed towards Independence.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 73. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 85. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday night, partly cloudy skies, low 73. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Whatever their stickers say, they'll all lose suction because their filters clog. But with our sonic tips oscillating at 5,000 Hz, only new Dyson Kinetic Science won't lose suction.
I started my Camry. Ran a race most wouldn't dream of starting. Chose to take down a monster. And realized when it's dark enough, you can see the stars. One bold choice leads to another. Toyota, let's go places.
I've got plans, and this is my baby right now. So it's just not the right time to get pregnant. That's why I chose Skyla. Skyla is the small, flexible IUD that prevents pregnancy for up to 3 years. So for me, there are no daily pills or monthly refills. I got my Skyla placed in just a few minutes at my OBGYN's office. And if I want to try to get pregnant, I can get it removed whenever I want.
If you have a pelvic infection, get infections easily, or have certain cancers, don't use Skyla. Less than 1% of users get a serious infection called PID. If you have persistent pelvic or stomach pain, or if Skyla comes out, tell your doctor. Skyla may attach or go through the uterus and cause other problems. Pregnancy while using Skyla is uncommon, but can be life-threatening and may result in loss of pregnancy or fertility. Ovarian cysts may occur, but usually disappear. Bleeding and spotting may increase in the first 3 to 6 months and remain irregular. Periods over time usually become shorter, lighter, or may stop. Skyla does not protect against HIV or STDs.
Talk to your OBGYN about making the move to Skyla.
Check with your insurance to find out if you can get Skyla at no cost.
You know, some people have told me reverse mortgages sound too good to be true. I mean, you get cash out of your home, no monthly payments, and still own your home. There's got to be a catch, right, Jesse? Well, there isn't. It's like any other mortgage, only with a reverse mortgage, the loan's paid back when the last borrower leaves the home. In fact, reverse mortgages are based on a notion that President Reagan signed into law over 25 years ago in order to help seniors remain in their homes. If you're 62 or older and own your own home, you may qualify for a government-insured reverse mortgage with AAG that allows you to turn the equity in your home into tax-free cash. And with AAG, there are never any credit score requirements.
Call 1-800-661-0312 now to receive a new free information kit, including a reverse mortgage guide and DVD, personal stories from people like you, and a brand new family guide for children and loved ones, all absolutely free with no obligation.
AAG can help you pay off credit card debt, eliminate monthly mortgage payments, and provide some real retirement security.
Call 1-800-661-0312 today to get your free AAG reverse mortgage information kit and bonus DVD.
In the kit, you'll receive a helpful 3-part guide. The first will show you how a government-insured reverse mortgage allows you to access the equity in your home as tax-free cash. 500,000 people have already done it. The second booklet contains stories told by people just like you who've had their lives changed forever using a full of helpful answers and information for children and loved ones.
Call 1-800-661-0312 now to receive your information kit and DVD, all absolutely free.
They're simply an effective way for folks just like you to get the cash you need to enjoy your retirement.
Call 1-800-661-0312 now to receive your information kit and DVD, all absolutely free. Call 1-800-661-0312 now.
AAG, the best advice for a better life.
It took James Dyson 5,000 prototypes to invent the bagless vacuum, and another 10,000 to invent the only vacuum that doesn't lose suction, thanks to patented sonic tips. Everything else is history. Search Kinetic now.
Just a little bit rainy out there, huh? Look at that. Heavy rain pounding down on the windshield, water ponding on the roadways there. This was intense rain in the Indianapolis area. And my goodness, you can just feel how difficult it was to drive when these storms rolled through. Unfortunately, heavy rain is just the beginning of the threats that we are going to be seeing. A multi-day severe weather outbreak has begun. Behind me, we've got the threat for Chicago, a 5 on the Torcon scale. That's not today. That's tomorrow. Let's go over some of this timing for you because you have to know what's still to come for you in the Chicago area. Your greatest threat will be Thursday and it could be all day Thursday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. A couple of different rounds of storms will come through. Damaging wind gusts and large hail looking likely in the Chicagoland area, but there is that threat for isolated tornadoes, and that's why the Torcon number is 5 here behind me. It means a 50% chance of seeing a tornado within any 50-mile radius within this zone, and Chicago is included within that Torcon of 5. So be wary tomorrow. Have a way to get your warnings and know where to go, whether you're at home or school or work. You have to have those backup plans and those safety plans ready before the storm crashes your way. Viv, over to you.
All right, so today is the day for sure. Let's talk more about the severe weather outbreak, because the overall setup now, the upper air wind pattern is basically setting up like this. You can see the dip in the jet stream across the west, big ridge over the east, all of that moisture being pulled in from the surface, from the Gulf of Mexico, actually from the tropics, and being pulled all the way into the mid-Mississippi Valley. At the same time now, at the surface, we have very dry air coming across the southwest, and that's punching into the very warm, moist, unstable air mass. And this cold air, or this drier air, is basically lifting the moist air right out ahead of it, and that's causing those stronger updrafts to develop. And as we go deeper into the afternoon hours, we're talking about the large threat of severe weather and even tornadoes. Anywhere you see here the outlined area of red from the central parts of Oklahoma all the way into south central Ohio, we are watching this region for the rest of the afternoon into the overnight hours. Now, when severe weather strikes, it's important now to have a plan. But if you're on the highway, what do? Well, as KSNT reporter Tyler Carter reports, now motorists in parts of Kansas have a safe option during a storm.
When at home or traveling on the road, sometimes severe weather does hit. Oftentimes, you have to think quick. Do you keep driving or pull over and look for shelter?
I was traveling with my family, so I'd be a lot more comfortable in stopping at something that was designed to protect us while we're out on the road.
But is shelter easy to find? The Kansas Turnpike is not just a toll road, getting drivers from one side of Kansas to the other, but it also provides a place to take emergency shelter. It's not your average storm shelter.
Those shelters are for employees and for those people who are driving on the turnpike.
Built like a basement, this severe weather shelter is designed to protect motorists from blizzards, tornadoes, and thunderstorms. Just to give you an idea of the size of the shelter, it runs the entire length of the toll. It's more than 6 feet tall, and I can almost touch both sides by extending my arms. Severe weather shelter signs are posted at nearly every toll stop and are designed only for those who work at the toll booths or caught in the open.
If you can find somewhere around your house, your basement, we don't want you leaving your home if that tornado is getting close. We obviously don't want you leaving your home trying to drive somewhere to get there.
KHP says the last thing you want to do is hide under an overpass. They become traps for wind tunnels and flying debris.
It's good to have those tunnels there. That's very nice.
Yeah, and you know, you have to seek shelter now if you are well south and west of St. Louis. A huge storm producing giant hail, spiked hail that could measure 4 inches across.
Okay, that is larger, of course, than a tennis ball when you talk about going crosswise there. But look at the hail tracker. We're noticing these as they move east or just south of the St. Louis area.
Shopping for the family used to cause a lot of stress between me and my budget. But thanks to Fingerhut, we have found our happy place.
Life is definitely sweeter.
Click on over to fingerhut.com and get the credit you deserve to get all kinds of great stuff for the family.
Introducing new Country Time Lemonade Starter with real lemon juice. A fresh new way to make country time.
We have a tornado on the ground. It's moving. We know you can't control the weather. That's looking good. So we build things to harness it.
That's awesome.
They hit the water. Game on.
Up here in Southeast Alaska, Coast Guard's last line of defense.
This is about how far you can push yourself.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 73. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 85. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday night, partly cloudy skies, low 73. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Lowe's presents how to install a new washing machine with one finger.
Maybe a little more that way.
Nice.
Now get 10% off select major appliances, $396 and more at Lowe's.
Shop Lowe's for all your spring gardening needs. Plants, tools, and the knowledgeable people who can help you spring into spring.
I always dreamed of coming here. When my asthma symptoms returned, my doctor prescribed Dulera to help prevent them.
Dulera is for patients 12 and older whose asthma is not well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Dulera will not replace a rescue inhaler for sudden symptoms.
A 6-month clinical study has shown Dulera helps significantly improve lung function.
Dulera contains formoterol, which increases the risk of death from asthma problems and may increase the risk of hospitalization in children and adolescents. Dulera is not for people whose asthma is well controlled with a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Once your asthma is well controlled, your doctor will decide if you can stop Dulera and prescribe a different asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Do not take Dulera more than prescribed. See your doctor if your asthma does not improve or gets worse.
Ask your doctor about Dulera.
14 clubs. That's what they tell us a legal golf bag can hold. And while that leaves a little room for balls and tees, it doesn't leave room for much else. There's no room left for deadlines or conference calls. Not a single pocket to hold the stress of the day or the to-do list of tomorrow. Only 14 clubs. Pick out the right one and drive it right down the middle of pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
Oh, cool. I can check my credit score on Credit Karma.
Checking your credit score is for chumps. I have great credit.
How do you know?
Duh.
You know those change, right?
Tattoos don't change.
Try Credit Karma. It's free, and you can see what your score is right now. Aren't you a little bit curious?
I just got my free credit score.
Credit Karma. Really free credit scores. Really free.
I've got to update my ink.
Many prescriptions can cause dry mouth. ACT Dry Mouth Mouthwash and new toothpaste relieve dry mouth symptoms with soothing formulas that strengthen teeth and freshen breath. ACT Stronger Teeth and Dry Mouth Relief. To soothe dry mouth on the go, try ACT Dry Mouth Lozenges.
Skin's ability to retain moisture weakens with age. New Gold Bond Strength and Resilience has skin-plumping moisturizers and proteins from the Resurrection Plant to bring skin back to life. 84% saw an improvement in skin texture in 5 days. Gold Bond Strength and Resilience.
Attention structured settlement recipients. Are you receiving future payments from a settled lawsuit? Do you receive annuity payments spread out over a long period of time? Turn those payments into a large lump sum of money. Call CBC Settlement Funding now. If you qualify, you could be eligible for an immediate $1,000 fast-track advance. Call CBC now to discuss your free, no-obligation options.
Call 1-800-215-8787. That's 1-800-215-8787.
We have been shattering records. Look at this sample.
I'm getting soaked.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
No, I wasn't.
And although we have not had many reports of tornadoes today, we've had several reports of very large hail. Check out this view from Morgan County, Kentucky. Hail filling someone's palm there. And this is just one of many areas that has seen reports of hail like this. The storm in southern Missouri also reporting huge hail. Jen, hail, wind, and eventually tornadoes a potential as the storms roll on today into tonight.
Yeah, that hail actually up to 4 inches now reported southwest of St. Louis. Let me show you the radar. As you can imagine, there are warnings right here with this storm cell. Here's what we are tracking right here. This is the storm. We're going to zoom into it. It's crossing right over Interstate 44 right now. I bet right here around the town of Sullivan and down towards St. Cloud, a lot of cars are getting pummeled by hail right here at this time. Now we are tracking this cell as it moves off to the south and east over towards Pea Ridge by 308 and Richwoods at 326. This storm cell certainly has had reports of hail. We're going to send it over to our Dr. Greg Forbes to get a look, Greg, at sort of the inside of this storm. How about an MRI of the storm, as you like to call it?
Yeah, indeed. And I certainly want to warn people that 4-inch hail coming down, even baseball-sized hail coming down at the speed of the fastball major league pitcher throws it, could be deadly. And look at that core that's here, lavender core there, probably now mostly just east of I-44, probably has crossed there. I wanted to show you, I'll circle this area. We have a way with the dual pole radar now to show that these blue colors in there, that's all hail. That is not showing up as heavy rain. And I'll take a look here at what I'm going to show as an MRI. If you were just south of the storm here, I've made the outer part of the radar look like clouds. So there's the anvil, there's the overshooting top. But as I slide it around, if you were looking at this from the west, then you would see I've made the hail core show up in there. So hiding inside the cloud, a big core of hail that's falling down now in the area. Just 3D structure, Jen, of a hailstorm.
Dr. Forbes, there's going to be more opportunity to look at that today. Unfortunately, we've got more storms we're tracking. One I need to point out real quick for you here in Kansas. We've been tracking this supercell thunderstorm with winds of over 80 miles per hour. It's racing off to the northeast. Independence, Coffeyville, heads up. The storm is coming in your direction. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Jen. And of course, we want to watch those storms that are now just firing along the dry line in Oklahoma as well.
That's where we find our own Kate Parker. She's in Tulsa, Oklahoma, where the skies are definitely getting darker, Kate.
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear the rumbles of thunder behind me, but it definitely is rumbling. The good news is not severe weather. We have positioned ourselves in a safe place. What we've got going on off toward my west, that's what direction we're looking here. Dark clouds. We definitely have rain. We have thunder. We have lightning. But we've also got the northwest direction here because as we go later into the evening, northwest of Tulsa, closer along the Kansas border, that's where we're going to be watching some of the stronger storms like Jen was just showing you there. The dynamics are a little bit better to support some larger hail and to see some of those stronger winds. Later today, you can see how the sky's a little bit lighter in places. If this breaks up a little bit, we're going to see some the instability increase. We're going to get a little bit more of that heating. So that's the direction we'll watch later today. Off to my west, 10 minutes from here, Sand Springs, Oklahoma, where if you remember just 2 weeks ago, we had a devastating tornado there. It was a fatal tornado. You're looking at video of it right now. This is obviously a city that's still on edge. Again, this was just 10 minutes to my west, right behind me, that we saw this happen. So in talking with folks here in the Tulsa area, they've definitely said that they're still on edge about this and that they're a little bit nervous going forward with this risk of severe weather, especially through the overnight hours here. That's always a major concern for us. We need you to be on alert overnight. That's our goal here. Mark, Viv, back to you.
Thanks, Kate. Good news that you're staying safe out there with that thunderstorm approaching.
We remember that Sand Spring tornado very, very well, unfortunately.
And we are all about today's storms, and the threat continues into the night. All day, all night coverage continuing right here.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 73. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 85. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday night, partly cloudy skies, low 73. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. here's our 7-day outlook.
At least 20 states with the threat of severe weather today. So more damage like this is unfortunately looking more and more likely. Look at what 70-mile-an-hour winds did to the tractor trailer on the road here.
And our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes, is issuing a Torcon value of 6 across some areas today, which means a 60% chance of tornadoes over the next few hours. Ahead, the areas that need to be on alert.
And today's other big threat that you need to know about is the heavy rain that could cause more flash flooding like this. Some areas that are already waterlogged could see 3 to 5 inches more rain.
We'll break it down for you, the timing, the locations of it all in this extended edition of Weather Center Live, tracking a multi-day severe weather outbreak. Hello and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Vivian Brown.
And I'm Mark Elliott. We have extended coverage. Dangerous storms have already started. In fact, our Dr. Greg Forbes has boosted his tornado condition index, the Torcon values, to 6 for portions of Missouri, a 60% chance of tornadoes within any 50-mile radius.
It will be somewhat associated with a part of a system that broke off yesterday in Northern California. It spawned at least 7 reported funnel clouds like you see here. This one caught on tape near Sacramento State's Hornet Stadium.
And you're absolutely right, Viv. It's this system that's now moving east. That jet energy is going through the plains, leading to more tornado potential today. We've already seen several rounds of thunderstorms, including ones now breaking out here in the center of the country. A severe thunderstorm watch, the newest one issued by the Storm Prediction Center, includes Tulsa, includes Springfield, and the southern suburbs of Kansas City throughout the rest of the day. That goes until 7 o'clock. Just off to the east, St. Louis, Evansville, Indianapolis, and everywhere in between. Severe thunderstorm watch until 6. And still following storms that started off last night in Iowa, still producing wind and hail now in Kentucky and West Virginia. Severe thunderstorm watch there until 6 o'clock as well.
And we do want to point out that these are severe thunderstorm watches. No tornado watches yet, but let's go to Jen Carfagno. She's in the weather lab tracking these storms with still the potential of tornadoes, Jen.
Certainly, and that's going to be a threat through the night. Now, we want to look at storms right now that have mainly been bringing a hail threat, and there's some storms with extreme winds across Kansas as well. Let's go into south of St. Louis. I want to zoom right into this morning. We've been tracking this storm cell with a history of very large hail, 4-inch size hail. We're talking grapefruit size hail, and you can't be outside with that, right? You're going to get hurt if you are hit by a hailstone that size. But not to mention, this storm is moving across some roads here. It's just leaving Interstate 44, but it's going to move over into the Richwoods area, and so we're concerned about some large hail coming out of this to cause some damage. Pea Ridge, Richwoods, you are in the mix 323 through Richwoods, DeSoto at 352. It should stay south of St. Louis Metro. Now, watching some showers pop here just out ahead of the dry line and around the Tulsa area where our Cape Parker is. There's some thunderstorms. There's one in the area right here, not at severe limits, but this one in southern Kansas, this one packs a punch with wind, and we are seeing reports of very strong winds up over 70 and 80 miles per hour coming out of this storm cell. This one over Independence right now, Neodeshe, also we're tracking it towards you as well. This one until 3:30 under a warning. And what you're noticing as we take a look at our visible satellite, this shows us a picture of the cloud tops here. That's that big blow up of clouds that we're seeing in southeastern Kansas. Tulsa, we're getting some that storm as well overhead. Where we have this dry air punching in behind it, that's our dry air, and that's forming our dry line where it meets up with the warm, moist air ahead of it, and it really is sort of lining up with where we're seeing the showers and storms first start to form right now in this whole area that we're watching here today. Guys.
Jen, that was a severe thunderstorm watch that was just issued, and we were thinking that that might be a tornado watch, but again, we need to stress the fact that there is still a big chance of tornadoes.
It certainly is, and I think that threat is going to increase as we get into the overnight as well, so that's something to keep in mind. You know, we look at this area right here, and the primary mode of severe weather so far has been hail today. There have also been some severe wind reports, but overall it's been hail, so I think maybe that's one of the things at play here. We take a look at, you know, we've got got the warm, moist air. We've got the dry air moving in. One thing you can't really see from this vantage point is that we've got some very strong winds at the upper levels. It's one of the things that's going to drive these thunderstorms and the possibility of these storms rotating. But also, it's going to keep them moving as well. And so we're going to be watching for some very fast-moving storms as we get into the evening and overnight. Southeastern Kansas, southwestern Missouri, right here. Watch for that. This is 11:30 tonight. We're going to start to see storms moving into this area, and that's an area that has a lot of instability and things working together, unfortunately, to create severe weather. Again, continuing overnight tonight. We want to make sure people, as they go to bed tonight, have a way to get their warnings.
Thanks, Jen. Definitely good advice there, as this is a threat that will continue through the night.
That is right. So let's go to our own Dave Malkoff. He's right there in the middle of the country. In fact, he's in Wichita, Kansas, and keeping us updated on the threat there.
Yeah, the weather keeps switching back from cold and a little bit rainy to bright and sunny. Let me just give you a look at the sky right now. It's been pretty covered all day, but now we've got a big break in all this. Not necessarily a good thing, because as that sun comes down and radiates and heats up the atmosphere, that can destabilize things around here. But we are generally outside of the severe threat area right now. We do have that other area that we just saw on radar over in Independence and pushing towards the Pittsburgh area. That is to our southeast. So we are here in Wichita. That's to our southeast, and it's popping over there. It's also popping down in Oklahoma. Right now, the fire department is on high alert. They've had several meetings throughout the day, not just with the fire department, but with all first responders, even with the school district and the electric company. They're all getting together to make sure they understand what the threat is and what it's going to be like going throughout the night. We've only got one cancellation to talk to you about. That's Wichita State had a softball game for tonight, and that's been canceled. That's the only thing that, as far as we can tell, that has been canceled around this area. So a lot of people who live here in Kansas know these storms, even though they haven't had a devastating event in some 2 decades here. They know that there is a threat here. No matter where you are and no matter where the zones are, you still have to be on high alert, you guys.
Yeah, that's absolutely true, Dave. Thanks so much for that report. I mean, they haven't seen a lot of big storms so far this year, but an area well-versed in severe weather, they're going to be ready when the storms show up.
Absolutely, and that is the key to be weather ready. So as we head to break, let's check out the hour-by-hour timing of the severe weather, so you know if the storms are headed your way, how to be prepared. Okay, Springfield, Missouri, right on deeper into the evening hours to the overnight hours, the wee hours of the morning, looking at storms.
Yeah, even into tomorrow, storms still a potential. We'll update you next.
I'm the protector of my patio. Killing weeds where they grow. A barrier forms so weeds can't appear. Serious weed prevention up to a year.
Roundup Max Control 365.
So I'm fighting weeds on opening day and preventing weeds while I get away. Weeds stay dead as we carve this beast, and they still aren't back when I cook this feast.
Roundup Max Control 365.
One more time, let me make it clear. With no more weeds, it's your year.
So nice, so nice. Sweet, sweet scent of most nice. So nice, so nice. Send cry full of pure vibes. So nice, so nice. Send John a real paradise. So nice, so proud to be from the Virgin Islands and the whole place nice.
To experience your Virgin Islands nice, book one of our packages today.
Your eyes depend on a unique set of nutrients.
That's why there's Ocuvite. Ocuvite helps replenish key eye nutrients. Ocuvite has a unique formula that's just not found in any leading multivitamin.
Help protect your eye health with Ocuvite.
Weather. So we build things to harness it. This is about how far you can push yourself.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy, low 73. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 85. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday night, partly cloudy skies, low 73. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
We have been shattering records. Look at this sample.
I'm getting soaked.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
No, I wasn't.
Hey ladies, you love it. You gotta have it. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, because that cinnamon and sugar is so irresistible. Everybody craves those crazy squares.
No one thinks they're going to be in an accident, which is why no one wants insurance. So we go cheap, you know, because we're never gonna need it. Until one day, we do. Now that cut rate policy is costing us big. Makes you wonder if there's something better out there. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
I've never cooked Thai food in my life, and now I'm cooking it for 20 people. The Cooking Club was one of the first things we tried when we moved to Del Webb, and now it's our turn to have everyone over. I'm finding that a kitchen and a house like this encourage you to try new things. In fact, in my new home with my new friends, I'm becoming quite comfortable, stepping out of my comfort zone.
Find the community that's right for you at delwebb.com. While you're at it, schedule a visit for a day or more and meet the people who live there.
We've been tracking a thunderstorm near Sullivan, Missouri. This is south and west of St. Louis, Missouri. And that storm has had quite the history of very large hail, baseball-sized hail. Now it has a tornado warning on it. And we're tracking this tornado warning for Crawford County and Washington County until 3:30 local time. Closer view, you can see the area that we're watching right in here as that radar goes into motion. That's where some rotation has been indicated. Let's go over to our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes, as we track this cell moving to the east, Greg, and looking at the potential for rotation within it.
Indeed, and we've been following a supercell north and east of this one that has produced a large hail, but this one is on a flanking storm that now has formed down to the south and west. It has actually kind of an unusual position. The tornado circulation is back in this location, back in the area behind the main body of the storm. So right in about there is where the potential tornado is located, a little on the unusual side. We do, though, have a supercell thunderstorm that is forming here, so we may get yet a new location for a possibility of a tornado on the leading edge of that storm. And additionally, we're watching supercell thunderstorm that is pushing with the storm that's had the big hail off to its north and east. So Jen, there's also a brand new tornado warning there in Indiana, Brown and Monroe County.
Yeah, we're tracking that one here, not too far from Bloomington. So let's zoom in and take a look at where we are tracking this latest potentially tornadic thunderstorm. So we're zooming into it, and we're going to be watching for that particular area, zoomed out of it. The concern for a tornado with a warning for Brown and Monroe County until 4:45. We're back in Crawford, though, on the radar right now, back in Crawford and Washington counties that Greg just looked at and talked about. It's this other storm that we're tracking as well over here near Bloomington. Again, this one includes Benton, Hamblin, and Salt Creek. This goes until 4:45 local time. Let's take a closer view in. You can see this storm heading towards the Nashville area of Indiana. Now, you know, we've been tracking these storms that have already been hail producers. We saw quarter-inch hail in Vincennes, Indiana. So concern certainly as we track these storms east that not only will they have the risk for hail and potentially strong winds, but in this case there is the risk of a tornado with Doppler radar indicated rotation. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks very much, Jen. Well, one of the areas that will see severe and dangerous storms and even the possibility of tornadoes is Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah, Kate Parker there live. And Kate, we've been hearing the rumbles of thunder in the distance. That storm on top of you guys yet?
That thunderstorm has actually now gone ahead and moved on out of here. We're looking northwest behind me this direction. You can see a little bit of clearing. This is not good news for later in the day. Northwest is where our eyes will be later today. Now to the due west, that's where we've been watching a lot of the rain come in this afternoon, but it's not been severe. The dynamics are a little better to our north. That's where we've had some pretty significant hail reports and those severe thunderstorms that are moving right along the Oklahoma-Kansas border. That's where they're a little bit stronger. But in Oklahoma today, this is kind of a thing that puts you on edge because it was just a short time ago, 2 weeks ago, that we saw a tornado, an EF2 tornado, roll through Sand Springs. That's only 10 minutes west of here. So just right down the road. Now, we have been still hearing a lot of lightning and thunder, but I do want to let you guys know that we're in a safe position. We never recommend being out in a thunderstorm. We're at fire station number 2, Tulsa Fire Department, and so we've got inside-outside thing going right now to make sure we stay safe through the afternoon. Back to you guys.
Kate, thanks so much. Yeah, you got to stay safe out there when those storms are rolling in.
All right, we have another tornado warning to tell you about, too, in the southern parts of Indiana. Let's recap that for you on radar because Doppler radar is indicating a little twist and now a little rotation with a thunderstorm that's approaching just south of St. Louis, south and west of St. Louis. That's the one you're looking at here. You can see south of Interstate 44, south of Sullivan, Missouri. Again, Doppler radar is indicating some rotation, so if you're in Crawford or Washington counties, please be on the lookout. This particular thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado as we speak. Go to an interior room on the lowest floor of your home.
We also have a tornado warning going on right now in Indiana, Brown and Monroe counties, heading generally towards Nashville. Take shelter right now.
I've got plans, and this is my baby right now. So it's just not the right time to get pregnant. That's why I chose Skyla. Skyla is the small, flexible IUD that prevents pregnancy for up to 3 years. So for me, there are no daily pills or monthly refills. I got my Skyla placed in just a few minutes at my OBGYN's office. And if I want to try to get pregnant, I can get it removed whenever I want.
If you have a pelvic infection, get infections easily, or have certain cancers, don't use Skyla. Less than 1% of users get a serious infection called PID. If you have persistent pelvic or stomach pain, or if Skyla comes out, tell your doctor. Skyla may attach or go through the uterus and cause other problems. Pregnancy while using Skyla is uncommon, but can be life-threatening and may result in loss of pregnancy or fertility. Ovarian cysts may occur, but usually disappear. Bleeding and spotting may increase in the first 3 to 6 months and remain irregular. Periods over time usually become shorter, lighter, or may stop. Skyla does not protect against HIV or STDs.
Talk to your OBGYN about making the move to Skyla.
Check with your insurance to find out if you can get Skyla at no cost.
Some things are not what they appear to be. Other things are exactly what they appear to be. The 306 horsepower Lexus IS 350, as aggressive as it looks.
What's this? A box. It takes worn out things and makes them better. Wanna see? Yeah. Cool. What else you got?
It's our biggest breakthrough yet. We're taking worn-out batteries and making them into something strong. New Energizer Eco Advanced, world's first long-lasting battery made with 4% recycled batteries.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
Come on, Wind.
I think I just made Mother Nature my bitch.
One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, Sundays at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
Wanda, thank you for my flavor. And Mama Bag, thanks to you, I'm one fine-looking bag.
Get Checkers and Rally's fan favorite, the Philly cheesesteak with hot melted Swiss. Or try the new meatball sub, 2 for $5. Checkers and Rally's.
It's in the bag.
This is Pet Action Plus. Finally,
a new flea and tick product that provides the exact same active ingredients as Frontline Plus, but sells for a fraction of the cost. Take action with Pet Action Plus.
It's time to elevate your expectations of what luxury waterfront living can be. Water Club North Palm Beach. In the heart of everything you love about the Palm Beaches. Unmatched views in every direction. Unrivaled amenities. Private club living on the water's edge. Water Club North Palm Beach. Presented by Coulter. Visit our sales gallery just south of PGA Boulevard on US 1.
We have been shattering records. Look at this sample.
I'm getting soaked.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
No, I wasn't.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low 73. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, intervals of clouds and sunshine, high 85. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday night, partly cloudy skies, low 74. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
We are tracking 2 supercell thunderstorms with tornado warnings. Let's go to one of them in Indiana. So tracking this thunderstorm as it moves into Brown and Monroe County. It's northern Brown, it's east central Monroe. We're tracking this warning until 4:45 local time as we track it east, the towns of Unionville, where baseball-sized hail has just been reported. You are in the path of this storm. And again, we're tracking it over here towards the east. Large hail history. Concern that there'll be more hail and also that there'll be the concern of a tornado. It is Doppler radar indicated rotation. Now, Dr. Forbes is standing by here as well, tracking this one and tracking this storm in Missouri, Greg, that we've been tracking, which I believe there's a new tornado warning that's come out with that too.
Yeah, indeed. The Missouri storm is evolving pretty rapidly. I'm going to take a look first with a high definition radar to the Indiana storm. It really has turned into quite a hook echo, and it's heading with that hook. The tornado likes to form in there right toward Nashville, Indiana. This is off to the east of Bloomington. Take a quick look at the velocities. We have the red and green touching here, so that's the closest thing to a tornado vortex signature. It's not extremely strong rotation at this time, but I'll zoom you over then to the radar out of Missouri, and we did have a tornado warning for the west side of this storm, and I said that. Watched this about 10 minutes ago. I said I thought that the storm might reorganize its rotation in the hook on the east side. That's more classic. And indeed, a brand new tornado warning now for Jefferson and St. Francis counties there. And I'll take a look at the velocities on this one, and it is really cranking. Can you see how fast the greens are coming northbound, the yellows and reds are going southbound? So big tornado vortex signature right there. Let me see if we have any. We're already beginning to have in parts of that some blue, what we call the debris signature, the low correlation coefficients tumbling. So the only issue about that is it's in relatively low return, so I wouldn't guarantee that that's a tornado at this point, but this is one going to go just to the north of Potosi that looks, Jen, very likely that is going to become the strongest rotation we've seen and maybe the first real tornado that we've seen thus far today.
Well, really with that area of convection of thunderstorms, we've been tracking some, slight rotation here through the last half hour or so, so it's certainly all coming together and tightening up there with that tornado warning that we're tracking there south and west of St. Louis. It's not in St. Louis, it's south of there. As we look at the tornado warnings, again, there are the 2 warnings that we are tracking for you. And again, it's out towards Potosi as that this hook right here, as this moves on in, this is where it's likely that we're going to see the tornado right inside that hook. And Greg showed you how on the velocity you've got the winds indicating where there is that tight rotation within the thunderstorm. Now we're going to track it for you based on the storm motion, and around 3:20 329, the town of Aptos, Old Mines at 337, Bellefontaine at 343, Blackwell at 352, and Melzo at 357. Again, tracking it on the move. And as we've seen with these storms, they have all seemed to have a history of hail, and in some cases big hail. So that is going to be another concern as well. We urge folks to get to safety, to make sure you guys have your plan and ready to go for tonight, because again, these storms are approaching right now to the town of Potosi. Here's our hail tracker. And you know, the hail tracker is not necessarily a given as to how big it's going to be, but we've been watching for storms throughout the last couple of hours that have produced some very big hail. This hail tracker would estimate a hail size of 3.1 inches. So we're talking, you know, tennis ball size hail. We've had reports of that already today. We've had baseball size hail. So a big concern about large hail, which would cause significant damage. Certainly would affect some cars and some windshields if anyone gets stuck out there in this hailstorm. A little farther to the north, the forecast hail size is 1.6 north of Potosi, just south of the Richwoods area. You know, we're getting into that time of day where people are trying to rush home after work and they're out on the roads. Again, there is likely to be hail within these thunderstorms, but the big concern right now is with this risk of a tornado. The warning continues until 3:45. Heads up in the town of Potosi.
You do know the experts at Midas will tell you what needs fixing now and what can wait, right? Like, I don't know, brakes?
Of course I do.
One of the best things about driving is being able to stop. Get up to $100 back by mail on a 2-axle brake service. Brakes, tires, oil, everything.
What if one stalk of broccoli could protect you from cancer? What if one push-up could prevent heart disease? One. Wishful thinking, right? But there is one step you can take to help prevent another serious disease, pneumococcal pneumonia. One dose of the Prevnar 13 vaccine can help protect you from pneumococcal pneumonia, an illness that can cause coughing, chest pain, difficulty breathing, and may even put you in the hospital. Prevnar 13 is used in adults 50 and older to help prevent infections from 13 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. You should not receive Prevnar 13 if you have had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. If you have a weakened immune system, you may have a lower response to the vaccine. Common side effects were pain, redness or swelling at the injection site, limited arm movement, fatigue, headache, muscle or joint pain, less appetite, chills, or rash. Even if you've already been vaccinated with another pneumonia vaccine, Prevnar 13 may help provide additional protection.
Get this one done.
Ask your healthcare professional about Prevnar 13 today.
Dad, like, how many more weeks are you going to be using my car?
Until my insurance claim goes through, this is our car.
Mr. Parker, my parents have...
Allstate.
They have this...
Claim satisfaction guarantee.
Really?
Their claim experience is...
Fast, fair, and hassle-free.
Or they get their, like, money back.
Sarah! Come to prom with me!
No.
Hey, Mr. Parker. Claim satisfaction guarantee. Just another way Allstate is changing car insurance for good.
Are you missing out on life because you're putting off neck or back surgery? Call Laser Spine Institute, the leader in minimally invasive spine surgery, to learn how a less than 1-inch incision can have you up and walking within a few hours of surgery, free from chronic back pain, and with no hospital stay and no lengthy recovery. If you or a loved one have been diagnosed with spinal stenosis, bulging or herniated disc, sciatica, or other chronic conditions, call today for your MRI review.
When you're in that much pain and you live on painkillers, you really don't have quality of life. I feel like Laser Spine Institute was an answer to prayer. It's just the heavens had opened up, and it was like, I can live again.
If you've been told you might need neck or back surgery, call 1-855-401-BACK for your MRI review.
Laser Spine Institute, a less than 1-inch incision, a lifetime of standing tall.
Weather. So we build things to harness it. This is about how far you can push yourself.
Currently in our area, 82 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low 73. Winds east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, intervals of cloud. Thursday night, partly cloudy skies, low 74. Winds east-southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
We have been shattering records. Look at this sample.
I'm getting soaked.
You weren't expecting that, were you?
No, I wasn't.
Welcome back into Weather Center Live. We are following dangerous storms, including tornadoes. I'm Mark Elliott.
I'm Vivian Brown. Let's go out to the lab with Jen Carfagno with more on these storms. Jen.
Yeah, the warnings keep coming out right